Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. And welcome to True Crime News. I'm your host, Alex Erickson, and tonight we have a lot to talk about. We have a main story, a main topic that I want to get into that's going to take up the majority of our evening here. And then we have to get into a couple other things. Who, excuse me, I'm out of breath. Right before, like literally 20 seconds before the intro was done, I knocked over this Awala water bottle, which was open, and was trying to rush to clean it up. But hello, you guys. How are you guys? Not to be repetitive. Hello, you guys. How are you guys? What are you guys doing? Carrie, thank you. Oh boy. I was just over at the ward case studies listening to Jen, and she was going through the court documents and showing the exhibits and stuff. And she was playing the video of them, at the bar where she's like, I don't know you. You're making me uncomfortable. And I just have to say, like, 3 words: manipulative, curated, and performative. Which Bindi was saying it was performative. So I'll give her the credit for that word. But, just ran from the ward. Hey, Nicole B. Hey, Bindi. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So let's start with last night. Last night, I went over to Difficult Research, which I think she's going to be going live tonight at 8:30. And I tried to set up the redirect. Her live isn't scheduled yet, but we'll head over there to her channel when she does. But I was watching and fell asleep. And I woke up to this. I took this screenshot at 2:32 in the morning. This video is no longer available due to a copyright claim by Hidden True Crime. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, which I know you are here because you're following this situation, Difficult Research is a channel that's owned by Kresha. She is the daughter of Kay Woodcock, Kay and Larry and Kay, but she's Kay's daughter. She is the niece of Charles Vallow. She is the aunt, the biological aunt of JJ. Her brother is JJ's dad. She was speaking out and sharing her story, her thoughts, her opinions, her side of this whole situation. She's a victim. The families didn't ask for this. They are victims. This case, the Lori Vallow Daybell case, has torn their lives apart. Matter of fact, she had her mom on last night and she said, she was talking about how for the last 6 years, she really hasn't got to live, to slow down and breathe. Everything has been about that case. And now she's trying to figure out how to do that again. Their lives have been taken from them. They're victims. And Kresha is included in that. Not to get rowdy already. I'm sorry. Let me take it down a notch. But it really pissed me off because it just goes against everything that most of us, I feel like, believe in and believe is right. And not only that, Kresha didn't play her content. So here's the thing. There was a moment for about a half a second where she accidentally showed some messages. So I heard, I didn't even see it because I listened to most of it without watching, where a number possibly could have been shown for a half a second. I don't want to hear that's the excuse or the reason for this. There is a difference between a copyright strike and a privacy strike. A copyright strike is when somebody uses your content. And it's the first step in legal action. If you do a copyright strike, that is you saying, I'm taking them to court. They're using my content. Kresha didn't play it. She had a video playing in the background. And it was, yes, I believe from Hidden True Crime's channel. However, it was pictures of her family and there was no audio. They spoke over it the whole time. If that's not fair use, what is? That is completely transforming it. So I don't understand this. It's wrong. And I have to think that someone like me, I can, I did some college. I didn't graduate from college though. I'm just a normal ass person who has an interest in true crime and psychology and some of this stuff that we talk about, interested in what's going on in the world, with a YouTube channel, okay, and a microphone. I can grasp exactly what the copyright system is for, how it works. How can I grasp that, completely understand it, versus privacy strikes, which is like if somebody shares something that you feel is like maybe a phone number or a picture that you don't want shown or an address or something, that would be the route you take. How can I grasp it? I just can't understand how someone with their PhD and their wife who is a journalist couldn't understand those rules, couldn't understand how that works. You got to be kidding me. They have to understand how it works. And let me tell you what, to me, I feel like, hello, YouTube, hello, pay attention, because this is a very large channel and they are just in everybody's faces blatantly as hell. They don't care. They're just going to do what they got to do to shut people up, to keep people from telling their dirty little secrets, whether it's copyright strikes, whatever it is, taking you to court. But that's against the terms of service. Whew. Okay, let me take a breath. I'm sorry, but this has went all through me. And I would think after like this long, I'd be settled down. But when you start talking about it again, you start to get like those feelings again, you know? Hey, Teacup. Hey, Tess. Hey, Gavel Geeks. Hey, Blessed Mama. Hey, Swags, which I think I said hi to you. Hey, Elle. Hey, Amber. Let me see what you guys think. Abuse of that system, but I think we have been seeing hidden true crime abuse the system. The YouTube people have the same mindset as Lauren. Some think they can just silence anyone that disagrees with them, but they can say whatever they want, like saying stalker 400 times. God, the video Jen was just playing. Let me share her link, because at the end, and maybe you guys have seen it, I just can't get over it. She uses just every word she uses. It's like so thought out and intentional and manipulative. It really reminds me of like a more elevated, more developed version of like Letitia, you know, like those kind of lies. That kind of, and not even lies, I'm sorry, manipulation, that kind of manipulation, that kind of thought that goes into every word you use. Like, I don't know. I think she's a lot like Lori too. Well, oh God, I have to do it. You know, I saw this picture on Twitter and I just thought it was kind of funny. You know, I don't think that I'm not saying that she's let me just before I show it, be just upfront and say, I do not believe that she is anywhere near as evil. I don't think she's capable of what Letitia did or what Lori did, of taking the life of someone, especially a child. And so I don't want to even compare that. I'm just talking about the manipulation and like the planning and it's, I don't know, but I saw this and it just made me laugh. It's like, oh, I guess, you know, that is a popular style. I won't leave it up too long. Very calculated behavior for sure. She's a more polished version of a lying liar mouth who tells lies. She just uses a bigger vocabulary. More polished is the perfect word. Yes, definitely watch it, because she also read through a lot of the documents, and it was very interesting. It was maddening, though. It's kind of frustrating, because she wants to sit next to the stalker, but she's so afraid of her. And then she starts, like, the words she used, that, you know, I don't know you. I'm uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. She didn't say it, but I just waiting for her to say, like, I'm starting to feel threatened. Like, I feel like I'm in danger. I don't know. Just the words. Okay, so here's the deal. This is bullshit. I want to read your comments. Hey, Wolfie. But then I want to go through Sleuthy Goosey. I'm going to share the link right now. Her Twitter is so good. She has so much information. The text messages that Kresha showed are over there. I do believe that she has good sources. Look, that's where these videos and documents come from. She's obviously got the correct information, in my opinion. Thank you for being a member for 52 months, Wolfie. My God, that's crazy. Oh, Jennifer, thank you for gifting. And Nicole, thank you for being a member for 6 months. I'm sorry, you guys. I wasn't looking at the chat. I was like just ranting because the copyright strike thing it bothers me in so many ways. Not only are you silencing a victim, but she didn't. Are you planning to take her to court? Because seriously, when you do a copyright strike, you are giving YouTube your word that I am starting the process of taking this person to copyright court. So if you do it, you should have full intentions of following through. If you don't, the video is just going to go right back up. And as if people wouldn't have showed like everything that they shared anyways. And Nicole B, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Oh, Michelle, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Hello, everyone. Missed you all. Okay, so let's go over to Twitter because I want to look at these texts. I want to talk about that. That was one thing, but she's got some other things too. I'm going to drop the link. Please go follow her on Twitter. If the mods, I heard Jen mention her channel. Can the mods grab me her YouTube channel and you guys drop that too? Please and thank you. And then Kimberly, thank you for being a member for 23 months. Holy cow, long time. Time flies, you guys. Okay, so there's her Twitter. So there's some clips from last night we're going to go through. There's the text messages. I'm going to keep up with chat now. I promise. I was just ranting. It's really hard when you have like, I don't know, I'm looking up into the sky or off. I don't know, just not looking and reading. Lauren had no problem comparing herself to Charles and Tylee, which was gross in my opinion, and Charlie Kirk. Not only vocally when she talks about the Utah stuff, but she says, you know, something about him having a stalker, but she also did it in the live chat during the premiere that her and John did. Okay, but we got to get through this because I have a lot to talk about with you guys. Hey, Jonesin. Oh, thank you, Deadeye Danny. You're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, she played some of the live, but it was in the background and it was just like pictures, which I believe here, because Sleuthy post one of ATS News videos, which I'm going to drop her link to. And I think that what's playing in the background is what was on the screen at the time. So you'll get an idea of how this looked, right? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Lauren, I'm telling you right now,
yeah, see, you see the comment on the screen. It was just the video playing, but they were talking over it. You know, first we heard from Kresha, then we heard from Kresha and Kay, and actually from Kay. Kresha kind of took a step back and just was like, floor is yours. Then we heard from Alwyn Reese, who I'm not as familiar with, but I'm very interested in her story for sure. So here's, let me just let this play. You'll see
that on. And
Kay Woodcock, by
Lauren
the way,
wasn't stalled.
speaking.
She was doing it.
In your opinion,
in
allegedly.
my opinion.
I spoke over her, so let me start over. But so you know, this is Kay Woodcock. Again, she is the grandmother of JJ Vallow, who, let's not forget, this story and this person built a large platform from being on the scene in the beginning days and until now of this case where JJ Vallow, little boy, was brutally murdered. You know, and if you're new to my channel, I don't use the words unalive and all that kind of shit. That's not for me, and that's not for this channel. And maybe it's not good for whatever. I don't care. We're going to say it how it is. JJ, brutally murdered. Tylee, brutally murdered. Young, beautiful girl with all the potential in the world. Charles Vallow, really decent and good man who just wanted to take care of his family, also brutally murdered. Tammy Daybell, brutally murdered. Okay. And so like, that's what it's about. This is JJ on the screen. So let me let it play and then we'll talk.
I let on.
And not to be insensitive saying that over and over, but I think it's important that we remember why we're here and what this is about. And when a person like Kay Woodcock speaks up and says, I feel taken advantage of, whatever, you need to listen. We need to listen. So let's hear it. And those are my words. Let's listen to hers because I'm quoting her.
Lauren wasn't stalked. She was doing it.
In your opinion,
In my opinion, she had a lot to do with it herself. In June of this year, we had a conversation, Lauren and I said, yeah, I hear you trash talked us. I said, but you know what? I'm turning my head. But Lauren, I'm telling you right now, you need to keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, and work on your channel and work and be with your family and leave this alone. It will blow over. I let on. And Lauren wasn't stalked. She was doing it.
In your opinion.
Look at Larry and JJ. Oh my God. I mean, the most precious pictures. Lady, you don't own these pictures. Excuse me. Excuse me. They were kind enough to allow you to use them. They were kind enough to give them to you. They were kind enough to come to your home, to welcome you into their place. I mean, how damn dare you? The copyright strike thing, it just really bothers me. And then especially, look at what was playing. It's bullshit, man.
In your opinion,
in my opinion, she had a lot to do with it herself. In June of this year, we had a conversation, Lauren and I said, yeah, I hear you trash talked us. I said, but you know what? I'm turning my head. But Lauren, I'm telling you right now,
should never happen.
Head down.
I was thinking earlier, let me grab it because I'll just read to you what it says. This one part of this police officer's notes. But Amber, will you do me a favor and drop Jay's link to his channel? Because I know that he's starting to do some lives and he's been on with you. So I wanted to share that. Let me. Okay. Ex-employees are suspected. This was June 19th, 2025, 4:47. The cops' notes, we looked at them yesterday, but ex-employees are suspected of sending encrypted emails threatening to expose Lauren's emails and text messages that could do harm to her business, and re-victimize victims she has worked with in the past. At no point, if my phone and everything that was on it, my text, my emails were released, at no point would I think, oh God, this is going to re-victimize victims. You know why? Because I'm not sitting around talking shit about them and their families. That part right there, I don't know. That says a lot to me. Hello, Melissa Jade. All right, let's keep going because there's more. We need to look at it, and I got to get going. All right, this was interesting. So, yeah, Lauren looks super scared at CrimeCon while she's trying to flag down piece of shit Lieutenant Jerry Holman, which from Delphi.
Go grab Lieutenant Holman.
Perfect. I can just.
Oh, and there's Lieutenant.
Look at her.
Go grab Lieutenant Holman.
I love that post because, yeah, she definitely looks real scared, frightened, terrified, just so. Let's see. And then again, here's the copyright strike. I think it's interesting, though, that it says copyright claim. Can somebody tell me? Because there is a difference for those of you guys who don't know. Like a copyright claim usually just means that that person wants to either take all of the money or most of the money from the video. And then a strike is they want the video taken down, period. Why does it not say strike on this? Does anybody know? Any of you guys creators in here know? I can tell you, but I need the link. Okay, I'll drop the link. We just got to keep getting through this stuff because I want to tell you guys about a couple things that you probably have missed while you've been watching all of this at the end. By the way, did you know that Diddy got a release date? It's going to be in 2028. I have it saved and I can tell you, and it's on my community tab, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember. Okay. Here's the text. Last night, Kresha showed a smaller version of this, like it looked like from a phone, and then this looks like from the computer. Again, I trust Sleuthy. Look at if you haven't, you've probably seen the spreadsheet she's put together of everything. I trust the sources. Look at the videos and audios she's gotten with this. So I tend to believe this. But without a screen recording, you can never be certain, right? Unless you see somebody scrolling through. And I do feel that no matter what, that's just the truth. But the fact that this is out there, period, is bullshit. The fact that, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make it any, it's hurtful no matter what, I should say. And sorry, I got unplugged. And the fact that it's out there, period, is bullshit. The fact that this is part of the conversation. Why? Let me read it. So it says, I think the thing that makes me the most mad is that I don't like hypocritical self-righteousness. Kresha and Elle Mom are great examples, but they are small, so we can be mad but roll our eyes. These two have a big following and control a subreddit and still act like this. And to correct myself, I don't just roll my eyes at Kresha. Her, I think, I can't read it because of this blue thing. Actions are despicable and destructive. I think I can handle her because her brain doesn't seem to comprehend anything comprehensive. Really, Lauren? Comprehend anything comprehensive? You could have done better. Jordan and McKay know better. Mormon stories made J and K. Whoa. Yet they steal their slides the entire show and call it theirs without shame. Gross. Absolutely gross. And I have to think, if this is why the copyright strike happened, because of the text that was shown, you had to know people. Well, first of all, this was up on Twitter before it was ever shown, but you had to know right here, but you had to know that people would screenshot it. And I mean, I don't know. Hey, Bendy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm mad all over again.
I know. Me too. I had calmed down. And then when I went live and started to go over it again, I was just like, ooh.
Okay, so here is I'm not sure why it just shows that. In fact, does anybody have the original link to Kresha's live? It should be, you know what? I bet I can find it. It's got to be it's going to be in your live from yesterday.
Yeah, and you're right. And it might be on my post. Oh no, I looked.
No, because it takes the post down. Hold on. Let me go over here.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Well, let me get back to our Twitter while we're doing
get
that.
back to that. And because I think I might have the answer, but I just want to check something really quick before I say the answer.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Let's see. This post, I'm just showing her Twitter because it's her Twitter is good. You guys need to go follow. I love reading the posts that she's sharing, even from other people. So here she says, and we're going to listen to the clip. This stream was giving Chad Daybell, the picture I just showed. Also, he's an insanely angry man, and this is interesting, you guys, and they both need serious help. Listen to this pussy rant. This is Sleuthy's words about Lori Ellis, like a petulant child holding a grudge because mommy told him 5 years ago he couldn't buy a toy in the store he wanted. The audacity of listing all the ways someone else should look inward while refusing to look inward yourself. I will say, it's pretty crazy. As I don't disagree at all. Listen to this.
Wait.
This part.
One of the people saying this because of this was on our show years ago. And I will say this, one of the worst moments I've ever had in 5 years,
Let me see.
one of the moments that pissed me off to no end, unlike every other moment on
Oh,
any
the
show
link.
I've ever
Thank you.
been on. This person was on the show. And somebody,
Jim.
a viewer asked a question of me that was extremely emotional. And I
Okay,
was
put it in the back
pondering the
chat,
question. You could
please.
see I was getting emotional. I was going to give one of the best responses I've ever given. And you know what happened? Because this person couldn't handle the fact that I was getting emotional, they cut me off. They absolutely cut me off, refused to let me answer because they couldn't handle that emotion
He was
in a
gonna
male,
hold on.
especially in a male, that
Hold on,
raw
hold on.
emotion.
He was going to give one of the best responses he has ever given, ever on the channel. Okay,
That
and you ruined
happened.
that shit.
You ruined it. Let me tell you, that has happened to me, but it has not been the fault of anybody else of my own brain. I have a great idea and then boom, gone. Okay, I need if you send me the link, I would appreciate it.
Okay,
Por
I
favor.
clicked on it though, and just to
Just
show you,
takes
it
you.
says the same thing.
What does it say? Just
The
read it to me,
claim.
baby.
The same thing, like a copyright claim. This video is no longer available due to a copyright
Okay.
claim.
So I think that YouTube is using just different language now because it hasn't gone any farther. YouTube is typically a copyright claim comes via automatic. It's something that is available to you when you have a certain number of subscribers. You will get notified in your studio if anybody is using material that is yours. Okay, that it's an AI thing. It's an automatic thing. Okay. But a copyright claim does not take the video down. A copyright claim
Right.
is usually when they just want the analytics on it. Basically, they want your revenue. Any money you made on that, it's going to go to them. And
That's what
think,
I was saying. Yeah.
so I think what YouTube is
Confusing.
doing is because it was done and either it hasn't been countered or just it's in the middle phase of everything. But you are 100% correct when you said that there's other ways to handle it. Number one, if it's about the accidental showing of something, a privacy claim would work. Reaching out because you know that she has she's got Kay's number for
Direct
sure.
contact to them. Yeah.
Exactly. And that would have been a number 2 resolution. And there was a better way to handle it. A copyright strike, like Ali said, or claim in this situation is 100% the beginning of a legal process. And YouTube stays out of it. That's why what will happen is if Kresha decides she's going to counter it, and she shows YouTube and she tells YouTube, no, I used it under fair use. It's only the video. No, it's all my audio, blah, blah, blah. YouTube will say, all right, my name's Paul. That's between y'all. And they will step out of it. They will put Kresha's video back up. And then Lori has 10 days to provide that she's
Lauren.
either going to copyright court or they have like a panel that you can do now. Either way, all she has to do is show that she's doing that, and then they'll take it back down. But a privacy complaint will not get a video taken down immediately. I know from personal experience. That happened to me. I had to fight years ago before I was ever a creator. Somebody
Same.
doxed me, like the legal definition of doxing for 4 hours. And then my kids, they doxed my kids. They even
Oh my God.
is really locked down. And the only thing they could really get to was the likes on your wall photo. Your background, you can't make that private. And they also doxed an innocent person who simply liked my picture, my background photo, and put up her address. It was a nightmare. But
you didn't copyright strike, did you?
No, I didn't. I wrote out a privacy claim, and I had to go through every second of that 4-hour video and put timestamps, and then YouTube reaches out, they give them the option. If they say, hell no, I ain't taking it down, they come back to you, ask what you want done, and then they will look at it manually and they will decide if it is a privacy, if you're just, being a big baby,
Right.
or if your actual privacy was violated, and it was. So that's why I just wanted to point that out, because when I talk about when I am critical of her reaction, his reaction, their responses, etc., it's not because I'm an a-hole. It's because I've got personal experience, and that person was on the
Same, yeah.
internet for months afterwards, still going live, still doing all the things, right? Let me tell you what I did. Stayed the F away. If I
Yeah.
was in a chat and I saw them in the chat, guess what I did? I left.
That's
If
what you do.
I-
You don't want to deal with,
Right.
like when you're in that situation, you don't want it to continue
Right.
or escalate.
Because he was dangerous. He
Right.
was dangerous.
Yes, S-Hocket, they did. They struck someone, not just people. They struck Krisha, who is a victim. She's a family member of an actual victim in one of the main cases that she's covered and talked about, which is the Lori Vallow case. If you don't know, Krisha is Kay Woodcock's daughter, and she was sharing her experience and didn't play any of her content. She did have a slideshow thing that was on her channel in the background, but it was their family's photos, and she
Yes.
copyright struck her.
That's
then
the unmitigated gall that I can't get over. How are you going to strike that at all? First of all, let's start there. But in particular, the use of that video, which is their personal family pictures.
yeah, it's
Those
complete
things
bullshit.
were given to you.
And for a fact, like I was saying before, Jen, if I can grasp exactly how it works, no, you're good. But if I can grasp exactly how it works, you can grasp it. Surely a psychologist could as well. They know that this is not the way you handle this. They just did it anyway.
She's just like, YOLO.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well,
Oh, well.
Nobody talks about me and when
Right. Nobody puts
like,
Lauren in a corner.
Yeah. Yeah,
Stop it.
exactly. Look at Jay's comment. And let me play this again. I'll rewind it and play the whole thing and listen to his anger over this at Lori Hellis. Jay says, bringing up something so minor from 5 years ago. Don't shrinks tell you to let things go? I just
Usually,
like that comment.
they do tell you, usually they tell you to figure out what it is that's bothering you, recognize whether or not you have any control over changing the other person. Spoiler alert, you fucking don't. And then they want you to work on you.
Exactly. So, Dr. John? Okay,
Do you want
so
me to
listen
get down,
to,
or do you want me to stay?
it's up to you. I don't
No,
care.
I
It's
want to
up-
know what you want me to do. I'll get down
You
if you
can
want.
stay if you want or get down. I don't care. I want you to
Okay.
stay if you want, or if you don't have to. It's up
Well,
to you.
I do love staying with you. You know that.
All right, so let's hear your comment,
right.
your thoughts on this. All right, here we
Okay.
go.
All right.
Way. One of the people saying this because of this was on our show years ago. And I will say this, one of the worst moments I've ever had in 5 years, one of the moments that pissed me off to no end, unlike every other moment on any show I've ever been on, this person was on the show. And somebody, a viewer asked a question of me that was extremely emotional. And I was pondering the question. You could see I was getting emotional. I was going to give one of the best responses I've ever given. And you know what happened? Because this person couldn't handle the fact that I was getting emotional, they cut me off. They absolutely cut me off, refused to let me answer
Oh, no.
because they couldn't handle that emotion in a male, especially in a male, that raw emotion that I was about to express. And I was so angry. If this person wonders why she's not on our channel, you might want to look at yourself. You might want to look at the fact that you cut me off in one of the most critical moments on one of our shows that I've ever had. You might want to look at the fact that people didn't like you. You might want to look at the fact that you spoke over Lauren and myself. You might want to look at the fact that you thought you owned this channel when you didn't. You might want to look at the fact that there was a groundswell of people who despised you.
Oh my God.
Well, damn, John, you ain't have to chunk the glasses. They didn't do nothing to you.
One of the Titanium Bill, his best response was one of the best I've ever had, ever.
Ever in the history of ever. I was going to say something so profound it was going to rock your world.
You ruined it.
You life ruiner, and you couldn't handle that I was emotional and I'm a man. I need that to stop right freaking me out. Are there people out there that might be a true statement about? Absolutely. But let me just tell you this. I am uncomfortable with emotion from anybody. Men, women, dogs, cats, a fish, a bird. It does not matter. Emotions make me uncomfortable. Okay. And by the way,
That's true.
we learned at the end of this of Crush's Live when help me say her name again.
Alwyn Reese.
Alwyn Reese. When she came up, that there were some accusations that Lori Hellis might have been their initial enforcer. Yes, Alwyn, I'm so sorry. Why I don't. Sometimes there's a problem in my brain where just certain names or certain words, just my brain is like stays buffering and it won't let me say them. So yeah.
I was saying, early, either here or maybe on your channel, I hope that you will go on Turtle Boys. I know you said you would, like you considered it. I truly want to hear from you so much. I think that would be very interesting. And then Joe, thank you for joining. And Abella, it's good to see you. And thank you for gifting and welcome you guys. And then I had to read L's. I hope he realizes there's people who just don't like them. Especially now. I mean, look at this. And I'm sorry that, oh God, their body language towards each other is so uncomfortable in this video, Jen. Even look at her there. She's like staring.
But why does she, more than anything, there's, dear behavior panel, please, for the love of Pete, please analyze all the rebuttals and the 9-hour stream. Please, just do it for us. We need this from you. Please, sincerely, all the internet. There's something that she does that I noticed that, oh, not me. No, Alwyn Reese would be going on Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy don't even know who Jen Lou is. He ain't trying to have no Bendy up on his show. I'd go if he asked me. But
dude, I feel she has some shit to say. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
But if you notice during some critical points when he's talking particularly about these text messages and people who quote unquote have done her dirty, she pulls her lip in. She sucks in her lip. And I think that is essentially her, it's a reaction. You talk some shit, Lori. Look, Lauren, the best advice I can give you since you didn't want to listen to Kay is, you know how you reached out to other people and apologized prior to that? You did it after the fact. But if there's anything left that's going to come out, I don't give a rat's fat kneecap how you think it's no biggie or how it's not earth shattering or it's going to be a big old nothing burger. It's not about what you think. It's about how the person who gets it is going to feel. My advice to you is get ahead of it and you reach out to those people and apologize now. And I use the word now in all caps, bold font, underlined. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like at this point, I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, but also I'm like, I don't see any path.
It's not going to make it better, but she does owe them an apology.
Oh, absolutely, she does.
She does.
It's time to get the courage, like do the right thing. It's never going to happen, but
don't play in people's faces. It's rude.
Yes, very rude. Alwyn says she has emails of Lauren threatening her and doing worse than Christina. Amber says, I fell
Yep.
asleep like halfway through. I wish that it was still up, but it will be back up in 10 days, so I'll watch it. Then Crime
Yeah.
Time Grime says, Turtle Boy's eyebrows look better than Lauren's. That was funny because I saw his eyebrows drawn on. And then French Fry says, I thought this channel was better than this nonsense.
Well,
I'm so
surprise, we're
sorry to
not.
disappoint you. Yeah. So sorry to disappoint you, French Fry, but this just ain't the channel for you then, dude.
I don't know what else to say. Surprise, we're
Um,
terrible.
Yeah. A condo in the hood. Thank you for joining. And then, okay, I wanted to read this because I hadn't even seen this. I heard
Okay.
or not. I heard about it, but this is Gigi from Pretty Lies and Alibis.
Oh, yes.
Can you please show us an example of what Bindi is talking about? The lip sucking. I don't know where
She
it's at,
did it,
but
and she just did it. Just in that last frame
okay.
when Dr. John was talking about
Wait.
about
What
Lori Hellis. She does it at the end. She turns to him and she sucks her lip in.
Right there. Boom.
Yep.
I hit it right
Yep.
on the. Oh, so you think this is like an involuntary response? Oh, fuck.
Uh-huh.
Type of
No,
response.
I think it's a more.
Oh.
I got other stuff to say, and I would, and also the lip is biting my tongue. I don't want this to come out, but the look is also like, please don't drag her into this. Please do not give enough clues where she can know it's about her. We don't want that smoke. That's the look. Like,
Yeah.
this is
Oh,
the look your
God.
mom
Like
used
she's
to
got
give.
things.
Yes.
Mhm.
Remember back in the day when your mom would pinch you underneath your arm? That spot.
Yeah, like shut up.
Yes. Like shut
Yeah.
your earth. Get a hold of yourself now. You're gonna get it when we get home. That pinch, that's
Yes.
this face.
That's hilarious. All right, I could see that. That makes sense. Like, don't drag her into this because she has
Mhm.
secrets. She's got things hidden that nobody wants out. You know, she's got
Correct.
skeletons of mine.
Don't
Okay.
don't rattle her cage, please.
That makes sense. All right. I am dropping a couple links right now of some of my mods that are in the chat. You, Bendy, and then Amber, Jones, and Soup. Thank you for being here. And Will, one of the mods, do me a favor and grab her link and drop it. Just click on it because she covers all kinds of stuff. Not really true crime, but she talks some true crime related stuff. But I know she's been talking about this a little bit and stuff. And I've enjoyed her channel.
Me too.
That's
I've
good.
been over there
Yeah.
recently.
I know. I didn't see any there. Oh, there's Melissa. She's holding her words back. Biting her lip implies holding in what she wants to say.
Mhm.
Let me get Melissa's link too. Melissa, I was actually thinking about you in this thing. She's right now covering like a couple cases of women who have faked pregnancies and stuff. And when I was talking earlier about Lauren's on that video that you were playing in the bar or whatever.
Oh, at the
Her-
restaurant.
Yeah, she was so performative and
Mhm.
curated, and it's so manipulative. Like I said, like we were talking about in a more, what'd you say, than Letitia, a more
Polished.
polished version of that kind of Letitia's manipulation.
No. I said that it's a more polished version of a lying liar face who tells lies.
Well,
which-
I just assumed you were talking about Letitia. 'Cause I was
because
comparing her to
you
that
know how
kind
she
of.
gets. You know how she gets. She got compared to Jodi Arias, and that was in the declaration. We don't need that.
No, I'm going to compare her to that level of
Lying.
manipulator.
Of lying.
Just
yeah.
like it remind me of what Melissa's covering, these women that are like,
Yeah.
I just can't with these kind of people. Like they make my skin crawl.
They just lie to lie.
Mhm.
They
Can't.
just lie to lie.
You know how she feels. It was in a declaration. All right. Let's look
Well-
at Gigi's. Let me read Gigi's thing, and then I guess because I had a couple other things that were not related, I wanted to touch on at the end.
I
'cause
don't
Crush is
see.
gonna be in a few
I
minutes.
don't see Crush's live though scheduled. Am I blind?
Mm. No, it wasn't scheduled before because I was going to redirect to it.
Crusha, what are you doing? If you can hear us, Crusha, go
Yeah.
ahead and schedule your live. We'd like to redirect, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Read it. Hit it.
Hit it.
Hit it.
She says, I posted on this thread, but let me copy and paste for you again. There's much more, but I don't air dirty laundry. All the drama aside from the current topic of discussion was known to a lot of us in spring. We all moved on, but I guess this has caused the past to rise back up, which I am totally over after months of being thrown in this at no fault of my own. This was in response to someone saying they hope I wasn't shunning Lauren. Now, let me pause for a moment and just say, after months of being thrown in this, and that she's talking about back in the spring and going, this just shows you how much has gone on that we don't see, which of course, like there's always going to be behind the scenes communications, conversations, situations, whatever. But this has been going on for months and months behind the scenes. I think that's really interesting. And it just makes me think like, it just gives me visuals of kind of what was going on.
Well, there's a lunch live that Lauren did while she was covering Lori's trial. I feel like it was Brandon Boudreaux's. It's the time that they brought the cookies. Remember, because you sent that to me, or Tess sent it to me.
I don't remember. There's so
Okay,
much.
well, the person who made the cookies actually gave the cookies to Gigi, and then Gigi passed them out. But Lauren relays the story. Yeah, salty. She sounded salty when she's telling that story.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tess said yes, so it must have been Tess.
Yes, it was Tess. Yep.
Punksy, thank you for rejoining.
Yay, Punksy.
Okay. All right. So it just gives you this visual of like a bunch of little mean girl shit behind the scenes happening that everybody's quiet about because they're scared and they're stepping on, I don't know. Just makes you visualize it. You know what I mean? Months and months this has been going on. We haven't heard a peep. To all of us that watch and listen, it's been nothing.
Right. And that's important to remember. Very, very important. Because I want to just say this too before I forget. In her declaration, she said that there was that one of the videos had 33,000 views. 33,000 views on TikTok is very different than 33,000 views on YouTube. The way that they count a view is different on TikTok than the way that they count a view on YouTube. And at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is that the reason that this has become so huge in the true crime community in general is the fact that Lauren did the 9-hour live. Lauren brought all of this to attention. And what had happened was people listened to Lauren. They believed her. They believed her. Mm-hmm. And then they said, you know what? Let me go over here and check out Homegirl's Tickety Talks. Okay. And they did. And I think everybody probably was like, oof, to the one about the brother. Like that was over the line.
Right. But
the rest of it, people were like, huh, is this all? Did she do? Because one question that I kept seeing come up so many times in the various chats that I flitted around to is, did she delete TikToks? Is this all of the TikToks?
Right. Yeah. Is this it?
it? Yeah.
I agree. That girl, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm going to read the rest and then we're going to look at her page for a second, her YouTube page, because I want to continue what you were saying then, because I'm going to like tie it back together to that rather when we get there. Okay.
Okie dokie. Artichoke.
Okay, so this was in response to someone saying they hope I wasn't shunning Lauren. That's where we left off. Shunning? No. But did I remove what little contact I had with her outside of being at trial after being shown proof of what absolutely awful things she said about me over the course of years and what she did to try and affect my podcast and negatively? Absolutely. It's called removing myself from drama and moving on with what matters to me in my life, my grandmother, my kids, my work. And in fact, even after I knew about all this way back in May, I still walked up to her at Brandon's trial on day 1 and asked how she was and said, "It's good to see you." When she sent me an apology email, I replied back in a positive way. I do not wish anybody any harm, but me choosing to be the adult and prevent any further drama in my life is fair. There are 2 sides to every story, and I could have gone public in May with mine. But in spite of everything that was done against me behind my back without my knowledge, all while thinking what little connection we had at trials was good, I don't want to be the reason for anybody's downfall. This isn't my problem. But when people are made aware of things said and done against them and choose to quietly walk away instead of airing it out in a public forum, that's not shunning.
Period.
Yeah, and
I wish,
agree.
don't
Like,
you? Do you have little sound effects on yours?
I think so, but I don't
We
know.
need
how
a
to
little
get some.
clap.
I know.
We need a clap because that was really good. There is a difference
Agree.
between I see you, I don't like what I see, I'm just
Mhm.
going to walk away. That is not shunning people.
No. That is what you want someone to do. That is best
Yes.
case scenario. And why, like, you guys are covering like true crime cases. Why is this happening anyways? You know what I mean? It sounds like little high school bullshit. You're after I was shown proof, like not on Gigi's part. I feel bad for
No,
Gigi, like
Gigi
getting
did
thrown in the
great.
middle of this. Yeah. But just on Lauren's part, it's like, what is wrong with you? Are you that threatened? Are you that jealous? Are you that like,
Yeah.
is it all about like the public's perception, attention, money, numbers, that kind of thing? Which, like you were saying, the 9-hour live got a lot of attention. So look, here's her channel. Here's the 9-hour live, 419,000 views. 419,000. Let's look at the videos before that. Right before, which I believe was 100% intentional, she has a live with Colby. And it's what comes after Justice Colby Ryan's raw truth about surviving. And then I can't read the rest, but it has 56,000 views. That's actually pretty high for her live stream views. I'm going to show you guys, as you see here, in a second, but I just want to say the fact that you filmed this video in your bed crying. Okay, we've already had all this court stuff, the long crime stuff, dropping the case. 2 days before you put the 9-hour, you do the 9-hour stream, you have the interview with Colby. That is intentional, in my opinion, Jen. I have to say, like, we can't know for sure, but in my
No.
opinion, that is intentional.
Well, yeah, and you know, at first I was like, maybe, initially, and I'm talking about initially, like last week. This week is no dice. I was like, well, you know, maybe she didn't think about it in those terms, but then I remembered that during that 9 hours, okay, of all the things, the one thing that she left out, or at least I missed it. So if I get this wrong, please correct me. Was that there was a hearing in September and that it was continued until October. The way that she made it sound, or the way that I perceived it in that 9-hour live, was that she learned that they wanted to stream the hearing, not part 2, not the second hearing, but the hearing, as if there had not been a first hearing. That is the way that I took it. But I don't want to get that wrong, because, you know, true crime is about facts and evidence, and the right person should be charged with the right crime. And if that's not something she did, then I don't want to say that that's what she did. But I don't recall her mentioning that there was a. I can go back and look.
It's I don't know the accurate answer to that,
I'm going to go
because
back and look.
I didn't watch the full 9-hour thing all at once. I kept having to go back and watch with people giving commentary and stuff.
Me too.
So yeah, but I am seeing in the chat that she left it out. That girl, it's honestly too much for me to get straight or want to dive into. It is so much. Okay, so look at the views after Colby's live. Sorry.
Okay.
We have 419,000, 56,000, then 29,000, 27,000, 47,000, 46, 58, 21, 55, 31. Ooh, 175. That's a big one because then we have 55. Now, 175 looks like she has a guest on. I don't know. I think a lot of these, she goes on the scene and she introduces herself to the families, just like with Delphi and other cases. Monkey Vaughn's mom was in her chat in that 9-hour live, as I'm told. That, of course, people are going to come to your channel, especially with Lori Vallow. You guys got to remember, there was a long period of time that nobody knew anything. I'll never forget when she was spotted in Hawaii and Nate, that footage. Where are the kids, Lori? And then time goes by and then we have them at Chad's house in the backyard and she's on the scene down there. The whole world paying attention. This is how she builds a platform. And so no wonder that, people walk away feeling just gross, which, by the way, Kay said she did not feel exploited or used with the original interviews and stuff, that she chose to do that and she wanted to put their story out. But now she's starting to feel that way, especially with the references to Charles and, this is like when Charles, nobody would listen to Charles Vallow. That's who I feel like right now, that kind of stuff. So let me see. For the most part, she averages 40 to 50, right? So 419 is a lot. That's a lot. Amber, did she bring up?
Did she say that there were that Law and Crime was actually trying to film the second hearing? Because I went back and I searched the transcript. And she does read a part of a filing with respect to not continuing. The respondent wanted a continuance, and they filed a response. They didn't want to have a continuance, but I can't remember if she talked about there being a trial in September, that what they wanted to stream was the second hearing, that there was a first hearing.
Hey, Deco. Okay, so I want to go back to Sleuthies just for a moment because, and a lot of people, and her too, apparently have had stuff to say about this. First, as I started here, because she's talking about the premiere, the pre-recorded response. First, she's commenting about his Brad Pitt comparison, which I'm starting here as well, because I just want to say, obviously, it's clear as day that was him basically saying, even if she's done all this, even if she's talked shit, even if she's a backstabbing, manipulative bitch, she still has interesting true crime coverage. She still gets the story, right? She's good at her job. So what matters? So it was basically an admission, in my opinion, and that's that. But Sleuthy writes, we're now at the point where Dr. John is diagnosing everyone with narcissism except for himself or his wife. Then in the chat, Hidden True Crime. Not sure where people are getting the idea the judge said this wasn't stalking. I'm lost. The judge said it was, and so does the law. Be well. I'm going back to listening to the PhD.
Not the judge, ma'am. A judge. A judge. A judge who heard only your evidence at the ex parte hearing. That's it. That's all. The judge that was going to, after taking in all of the evidence, didn't seem like he was leaning in your direction. In fact, if I recall correctly, what he said was that a stalking injunction is not a remedy for getting people for shutting down speech that you don't like. Oh shit, Smoothie has it right there. I'm over here trying trying to recall it straight from my own brain, and Sleuthie's quoted it all the way over here. A stalking injunction is not a
Oh.
remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them, and it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case. Boom.
All right, yeah, and let's hear it because I was about to play it. Here we go.
With respect to the online posts, I think that's the biggest concern for my client. In addition to defaming statements, is there any other clarification the court can give on what would constitute a defamatory statement? So that there's no argument. So there's no like.
What's legally defined as defamation? It's got to
Understood.
fit the legal definition.
Okay. What about harassment?
I don't know what that's going to qualify as, and I can't get into everything. I would say, Ms. MacArthur, I'd be careful in the way you do that. But again, if she's just saying negative stuff, this is not, again, a stalking injunction is not a remedy for shutting down speech that a person doesn't like somebody saying about them. And it seems like that's what you're trying to do in this case.
Well, again, Your
Not
Honor, I would
only
argue that
And a stalking
stalking-
injunction is not a remedy.
Not only is a stalking injunction not a remedy for shutting down speech, but he goes on to say it seems like that's what you're trying to do.
Yes. And remember, this is after other evidence has come in. The respondent has responded, as it were.
Yes, and then I want to read this and address this. So Francis says, unfortunately, at this timestamp, that's interesting. You have the exact timestamp. Kesha live last night. She shows her phone and Lauren's contact with her number. Well, I heard that did flash across the screen, but that's not, even if that's the case, you don't copyright strike someone because they accidentally show something. There's a remedy within YouTube. I'm sure that Laura and Dr. John, they're familiar with. It's privacy striking, and you can get the video blurred, and if not, then removed eventually, potentially, if YouTube agrees that it's a privacy violation. A copyright strike is only, and I mean only, it's black and white. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's only if someone uses your work and you're going to take them to court. It is the first step in the court process. It is literally making a promise to YouTube. It's against terms of service to do it unless you're serious and you plan on taking them to court for using your copyrighted work.
Right.
And there's no way that she intends that, Jen. There's no way. It's not her work. It's their pictures. I'm frustrated because
Right.
it's
And
such a channel.
yes. And the thing is okay, so it starts out with a privacy complaint. So if that was the issue, all she had to do, Lauren or John or whoever's in charge of doing that for them, right, is reach out to YouTube with that timestamp. Then YouTube reaches out to the channel and tells that channel, hey, at this timestamp, there's something that it might be a privacy violation. What do you want to do about it? Right? Then it's up to the person to say, you know what, that is not a privacy violation, or oops, my bad, and fix it. And then
Yeah.
it's fixed, then it's done, then it's over. Right? It doesn't cause anybody's video to be removed. It doesn't cause, you to look like an a-hole because you struck them, you gave a copyright strike instead of a privacy claim. I mean, there were many other remedies that she could have used, even if she didn't want direct contact, even if she didn't want to talk to Kay or she didn't want to talk to Krusha, she could have gone through YouTube and done exactly what I said, and it would have resolved the issue. Because I don't think that Krusha it was an accident, for the love of Pete,
well, Yes, and
it ain't like she
you-
kept it up there for for any length of
sure
time.
people see.
Right. And, and then, added a banner at the bottom saying for a good time call, for fuck's sake, come on.
That girl, people do take advantage of it all the time. You're right. But see what my thought process is with a channel that big. It's so blatant, right? It's obvious it's not an actual, it's false. Like, that's YouTube, they don't never do anything, but I just feel like that they should be like, it shouldn't be allowed. It's just bullshit. It's
Right.
blatantly in your face. This is not about copyright at all. And oh
But
well,
that's one of those things that YouTube would have to prove intent. And they're not going to get involved in that. And that's
yeah.
part of the issue. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't get involved in copyright stuff anyways.
No,
leave
they
it because
don't.
it's a legal issue.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that they need to prove intent, because it's not that, I don't know.
I mean, look, here's the deal. YouTube, we're on their platform. We are subject to their terms of service. It is a violation of YouTube's terms of service to misuse the copyright claim system. Period. The end. Okay. But it is at their discretion when they will determine whether or not the person does that. There's, and I
still
don't
see a live from Krisha.
I think somebody did say in the chat that she was thinking about doing it tomorrow, which,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Titanium says, so I pulled this up to show you, Titanium Bill. I actually fell asleep watching it, and I took this screenshot myself at 2:32 a.m. This is what my phone looked like when I woke up. So, I saw the message and it didn't look like anything. Yeah, that was mine. We have the link. If you go to my chat yesterday, we dropped it a bunch, so it's in the chat. But
you know what? Yeah, it's just
Go ahead.
messed up. And I'll say this: sometimes when a video is removed by copyright claim, I know, Allie, why is your phone on the red at 2:32? It should have been on the. What are you doing? Anywho,
I'm irresponsible.
sometimes if you just go, if it's on your TV, if you just hit the back button, then this will pop up. First, it'll show this video is no longer available, right? Then if you hit the back button, it'll say this. Then it'll show you exactly why.
Yes.
And there's no getting around this. You can't, there's no saying, well, it was on an accident, because it's still down. If it were something like, they have it set to automatically, they get notified and automatically they put a copyright claim, right? They don't actually have to do anything. At this point in the game, at this point in the day, we're reaching the 24-hour mark since Krisha even went live, for the love of Pete. Okay. At this point, it could have been corrected, because I will say this. I got a copyright claim one time on a West Memphis 3 thing that I did. And it was on I used to some west of Memphis. And guess who removed the copyright claim? Damian Eccles himself.
Wow.
So there you go. And he did it without me even having to appeal. He was like, oh no, Shiku, remove. No, just kidding,
Okay, so I am going to talk about 2 to 3 really quick other cases I want you guys to see that you might have missed while paying attention to all of this. I've missed, I always try to do these live streams where we go and look at cases that aren't really being seen. And sometimes I'll pair it with something that is being talked about, so people might get a chance to see it. So, but before we get on to that, I just want to ask you, what do you think happens from here? And before you answer, I just want to say, don't forget about this Alwyn Reese aspect of it, because, I don't know what happens from here, but I would love to hear what she has to say. So I hope that she'll go on to Turtle Boy or wherever. She can come here. I don't care, anywhere, but I hope she'll go on to Turtle Boy, because she, I know that it's for her and Krisha. They explained last night that listening to him having this more lighthearted approach to it makes it easier to digest. Basically, it's a place to de-stress, and so I think that'd be the perfect place to go and give her thoughts. But yeah, what do you think?
Well, I'll say this. Human beings generally are forgiving. When a person says, you know what, I really, 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 really messed up. And I'm sorry. Okay. Human beings are like, okay, we'll try, depending. Obviously, there are a few things that you cannot, that are just beyond forgiveness, right? But this kind of stuff. And the fact that not only is she unwilling, and Dr. John now is unwilling to even be a little bit objective. They've like dug their heels in the sand and
Yep.
they're not wrong. And on top of it, Dr. John has labeled these text messages as sarcastic humor. Okay. You have a sarcastic sense of humor, but there ain't nothing sarcastic about that screenshot at all, or humorous. That's just plain. I mean, you're talking shit. It's rude, And what I think is going to happen is when people are called liars over and over and over and over again, like the detractors, the people who are coming out and saying, this was my experience with Lauren and it wasn't good. And there's no acknowledgement that Lauren or John might have played a role in the demise of a friendship and where it's gotten to it at this point, right? I think
They'll never
that
admit. Yeah. No.
it will cause these people to then come out and not just come out and tell their experience, but they will come out and tell their experience and they will bring the receipts. And because then that's all you can do. If somebody, they'll bring the receipts. And what I worry about, I don't really worry for Lauren and John because they said what they said. Lauren said what she said, right? She texted whatever she texted. What I worry about is the families. Lauren has said that statement, re-victimize the victims, multiple times. She said it in her in that police report, and she said it in her declaration. You don't repeat something unless it's important or you really want to emphasize something. And I think that
That's
at the end of
interesting.
the day, there's something that she has said that it ain't good. It ain't good.
Wait, okay, so that makes me think like she's just using them more.
Yes.
Like to keep people, like to try to get people to keep quiet, like using them. Oh my God, just disgusting.
Yeah. See, because like even for me, I was hesitant to
Titanium.
even say anything about like when Megan Connor was on Duty Ron's and what she said about the whole email or the Lori Hellis's book, and that Lauren called her and was like, did she source you? Did she interview you? She should have sourced you. She should have interviewed. But it's pot stirring. And she was actually trying.
Exactly what it is.
She was actually
Got better
trying
shit
to
to do.
defend Lauren in that situation, but it didn't land. Anywho, I was hesitant to say anything about that because, Megan is sort of part of all of this, in a way, she has been subjected to Lori Demon Charo Shizu hair wearing Valo, so like, I don't want to say
But
any,
no,
I don't want to
yeah.
talk shit. Like, I don't want people to like think or to perceive what I'm saying as, oh, now you're talking. Damn, you left, you really, maybe we aren't good. We're not better than this, Allie. Maybe I am bad. First, I'm talking shit about Laura. Now I'm talking shit about Megan. Like, I didn't want, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want that to be the perception. It's just something that I noticed.
I just wonder. I think it's possible we might have more court cases. I mean, look at Christina. She's been called a stalker so many times, and you can't tell me these hidden gems. Some of them they are. You know how people get when they're standing up for their person, and you never know. There could be somebody out there unstable or something like that. And you have Lauren crying in bed. Like, it's just a scary situation. I don't know. I think that it's possible it's not even done escalating, but I hope it is.
Me too.
I know you're going to be covering the more documents tomorrow.
Yes,
For me, I'll
yes.
probably talk about it in passing, like if I do a true crime news or something with other things, unless there's a big update, because I also want to
Okay.
get back. There's some other
Yeah.
cases I want to talk about, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
wanna
this is so important. It is.
It is important. It is important because, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And I'll give you another one. This is my favorite. With great power comes great responsibility. When you amass that many followers,
Mhm.
you are responsible for the things that come out of your mouth, and you should choose your words wisely. And I keep remembering something that Dr. John said during their rebuttal, or their response, which was something akin to like righteous indignation. And I would just pose this question to Dr. John, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. Just think about what I said. Don't you think that referring to somebody as a stalker 400 times in one video and many, many other times in another video, when you have the size of the audience that you have, don't you get concerned that righteous indignation that they feel for you could be turned on somebody else? Because I would imagine
Yeah,
that your
exactly.
intent with this whole lawyer thing and going legal
Right.
was for you to you wanted the behavior to stop, right? You don't want Christina hurt, but you might want to choose your words a little bit more carefully.
Right. Exactly. Well, okay. So I'll be over there listening to you go through the rest of them. I'm excited to hear that. And I want you guys to know, in case you leave, but you should stay and listen to these other couple cases just for like 10 minutes. It won't take long.
No, stay for Allie, because she works so hard on this kind of stuff. Stay for her. I'm even going to stay for you. And not only am I going to stay for you, I'm going to be quiet.
Oh, well, thank you, Bendy. And thank you for being here. And if I just want you guys to know, oh my God, look, I left the S off of Thursday. I'll have to fix that. But now I wanted to make a schedule because so many people complain that they don't get notified and stuff like that. So from now on, because of football, not Fridays, but Monday through Thursday, I'll be here at 8:30. Today, I moved it because of Kresha, but I'm not going to want to move these much just because of you guys. But if I do, maybe it will slightly go to 8 or 9, something just slightly shifting. But Monday through Thursday, 8:30, and Sundays at noon. So I cannot believe I left the S off. It took me pulling it up on the computer to see.
That's okay. I left the L out of stalking. So in my total. So in my total. So it was just staking. It was staking. Even worse.
Thank you guys for staying. That's funny, staking. And Kresha, I don't see a live up. I think she's going to do it tomorrow. I know that Jay's going live tonight very soon. And he asked me if I wanted to come up. I might try to go on the panel for a moment. Amber might. I don't know. Let me know if it's just you or who's going to be there, Jay. And then, okay, so here's the couple cases I wanted to show you. And I'm going to it's graphic, but this is true crime. So, the trigger warning thing is, but okay. So, a New York man allegedly carried out an attack on Wednesday that left his wife and 12-year-old stepdaughter injured. Sources, and let me pause and say, if you're new to my channel, True Crime News, I go through a bunch of different articles of just cases that are either being tried right now or happening right now that you really don't see anywhere else. And just try to encourage people to pay attention to what's going on and not just one particular story, because there's so much that goes unseen. So sources told New York Daily News that Joshua Burnside, only 28, stabbed his 31-year-old wife and her daughter at their Bronx apartment. The woman reportedly grabbed a knife in self-defense during an argument with Burnside, who eventually took the weapon and used it to stab her in the stomach and slash her face. The Daily News reported that the 12-year-old girl witnessed the attack, and after the woman ran outside of the apartment, Burnside allegedly stabbed the girl all over her body before getting a long screw and hammering it into the side of her skull. He literally got a screw and decided to hammer it into her head. Burnside was arrested without incident. His wife was hospitalized for minor injuries while her daughter underwent surgery and remains in critical condition. The Daily News reported 2 other children, 2 and 5, were also at home during the incident, but they weren't injured. Law enforcement sources told the publication that doctors located bruising to the girl's head before discovering the screw puncturing her brain. It was like 4 or 5 doors the mother pounded on. We came outside and she was bleeding from her abdomen. So we were trying to figure out what was going on, a neighbor told the local news. Then once she started saying that there were kids there, that's why he was like, oh my God, you're here. The kids are up there. What's going on? Burnside did suffer an injury to his wrist, and he's facing charges of assault, criminal possession, and endangering the welfare of a child in connection with Wednesday's attack. According to the New York Post, bloody fingerprints were seen on a 6th-floor door at the Bronx apartment building. The door was reportedly dented at the bottom. His arraignment was scheduled for Friday. So, it's crazy to me that things like this are happening in our world and we don't even see or know about it. And it's so much. Once you start paying attention and you see how often this shit happens, it's just mind-blowing. And then this one, I'll just keep it here. This will be the last one I'll show you guys, but this is really important, I think. As a matter of fact, yeah, because sometimes Crime Online is weird about pictures. They won't have them in the articles. It'll just be like on the homepage. But the Umatilla, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, so forgive me. But the Umatilla Tribal Police Department is looking for any video footage or information that may assist them in locating a 71-year-old Oregon man. Wesley Dixon Jones, 71, was last seen October 5th. He's on camera in a vehicle traveling east. I'll just show this video because it shows his picture. So many Indigenous men and women go missing all the time, and we don't see it, and it's a huge problem at way higher rates than your average person as well. And it's because they go under the radar. They're the perfect victims for, even though that sounds bad, but you know what I mean? Because
they're targeted more frequently, kind of like sex workers get targeted because
exactly.
Nobody
will report them missing, or
or when they do, they're not taken seriously because they'll say, oh, well, they're sex workers. Their life is kind of transient. So how do you know they're actually missing and they haven't just decided to get off the streets?
Yeah.
But the fact that they're reported missing should be an indication, because one thing about sex workers is they don't like to go to the cops, so.
Yep, exactly. And then the little girl with this, that girl, the screw, it does sound, I'm so thankful. Let me say, because I was trying to hurry. I'm so glad that they're okay. They're survived, not okay. She's in critical condition, but my God, how fucking horrific.
Right.
Is that?
Oh. Right. And then he has an injury to his wrist. Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah. Good.
That's kneecap about your wrist. Wait till you get to prison. That ain't the only thing that's going to be injured, bro.
Right.
I'm going to be beating you up.
Hope so. Anyway, no. Just
Allie, we're not good. Not better than this. We're just bad.
Okay, so this is 45 seconds. We'll let it play just so you guys can see his face and stuff. Okay.
Tribal police are asking for help locating a tribal member that's been missing since October 7th. A 71-year-old Wesley Dixon Jones was last seen east of Mile Road in a 2003 gray Ford Escape. Detectives say when that vehicle was seen returning on the same road, Jones was no longer visibly inside. Police are now asking for anyone with video footage near Short Mile Road east to Cayuse Road, including River Road, or from Cayuse Road east to Bingham Road on the
Oh, how
Umatilla
sad.
Indian Reservation, to submit that with their QR code provided there. Submit that tip. Jones described as 5 foot 8 inches tall, Native American, weighing about 140 pounds, with long black hair and brown eyes.
You know, God, Jen, when older people go
Brown eyes.
missing,
I
it's so
know.
Black hair.
it's so
Hey,
sad. And
rewind
Yeah.
it to the beginning, babe, because I noticed something. They said traveling, not
oh, I thought they said
driving.
tribal. Oh, traveling. Oh,
Traveling, not driving. And I'm curious about that. If
is
I
that
heard it
different?
correctly, you know how I like to be gaslighting myself and pretend like I didn't hear what I just heard. So
No, let's play it again. But it's interesting
yeah,
because I know that this comes up when you talk. Oh God, it's like people who don't follow the law. I don't even know how to explain it. Let me just play it here.
Umatilla Tribal Police are asking for help locating a
Umatilla.
tribal member that's been missing since October 7th. A 71-year-old Wesley Dixon Jones was last seen east of Mile Road in a 2003 gray Ford Escape. Detectives say when that vehicle was seen returning on the same road, Jones was no longer visibly inside. Police are now asking for anyone with video footage near Short Mile Road east to Cayuse Road, including River Road, or from Cayuse Road east to Bingham Road on the
Did they say it already? Because I didn't hear it.
no. So because it's just, I guess when one way they saw him in the vehicle, and the way coming back, he wasn't in the vehicle, which you know, is interesting. Like,
Yeah, it is. It's
who was driving the
concerning.
vehicle?
Who? Yeah, Scottish Lynn, thank you for joining. Thank you. If you guys are in the area, look the case up. Like,
Yeah.
God, that's so sad. When I see older people, you just think like it's almost like a little kid. What if their mind's not right? And I don't know,
Right.
just scary. But
Sad.
I'm so glad that you came up. Did you see, by the way? Yes, you're right. Sovereign citizen. Thank you. That's what I was looking for, and I didn't want to try to explain it and get it wrong. But it's a whole thing. Look it up. But anyway, Bendy, did you see whenever you were considering like, do you want me to stay or go? Which I didn't want to say stay and you couldn't say or whatever, and
I
make
wouldn't
you.
have
So I was like, I want
offered
you
if
to
I
stay,
couldn't.
but if you can't, that's okay. Did you see the chat? There were a couple people that were like, stay, stay, stay.
Aw, I
It was
appreciate
sweet.
that. Thank you guys. I bet you're regretting that decision now, huh?
No, it was good conversation. I appreciate you coming up and having somebody to bounce the thoughts off of, because I'll sit here and just rant and ramble and rave and probably make no sense and
You make sense. You're so critical of yourself, babe, but you make
circle the
sense.
drain.
Learn we're not good.
Yeah. We love Jen Lou. No, thank you though. But yeah, I do loop sometimes a little bit, kind of do that.
You loop
circling
and
the
I
drain
buffer.
thing. There you
Don't
go.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Look, nobody we're not professionals. We're
Yeah.
tourists. That
We're
was
just
so that
hanging.
pissed, I don't know, that pissed me off more. Like a lot of things, a lot of this stuff pissed me off. But when she called Christina and the people that she's hanging out with tourists, trial tourists,
Yeah.
like I mean, I'm not going to do it on your channel because I have some things I could say in response to that, but I'm going to use a little thing that us big girls call restraint. And I'm going to restrain myself from saying that, but it's
Yeah,
just
us
like,
big girls. Yeah, because you need to learn about it, Lauren. Okay, restraint. When you're feeling frustrated with people who are going through the worst time in their life, and you're literally using their story to build a platform and earn a living for your family, and you might be feeling frustrated with their emotions or whatever they got going on in the moment. Walk away and keep your fucking mouth shut. Okay,
right. Or if
Yeah.
you need to vent, everybody needs to vent. Vent to your husband. Don't vent to chicks that you meet on the internet. For the love of Pete.
Scott, it is so much. He hasn't been on for a while. He's like, what is going on?
Poor
I
Scott.
have a live from a couple of nights ago with Bendy, Melissa, Chasing, like a bunch of people that came up. Maybe You can watch that and get a good idea of like the gist of it. And then I would tell you to go watch Crush's live last night, but unfortunately it's not up. So
She had. Okay, so here's the thing. She didn't do it in the middle of her live.
yeah, that was interesting.
She she waited, but a lot of people, like most times, people will come in late, and rather than just go from where they started, where they came in at, they'll just rewind and start at the beginning if they're able to. So you can turn that off. But anywho, and a lot of people, I saw a lot of comments that what had happened was they were in the middle of watching it because they had come later. They were on the replay, and boom shakalaka, it was gone.
Yeah, well, I heard, is it true that it was like right as soon as it ended? Or do you know? Like within 5 minutes? Because that's what I heard, which I think is really interesting. Why wouldn't you do it while it's on? Because I know you can strike while they're live.
You can, but no,
Lady fucking T, you're awesome.
John Dehlin, Scott, John Matthias, Dr. John Matthias from but poor John Dehlin is roped in this too. I can't fit that one text message though where they're referencing Mormon Stories podcast. I can't exactly tell who the shade is being thrown at. Is she saying that Mormon Stories podcast took somebody else's slides, or is she saying that the other two people took Mormon Story podcast slides? I'm very confused. Grandma Sherry says like 5 minutes after it ended. Damn.
Okay. That's what I heard.
Damn, Lauren. That's messed up, girl. You're wrong for
Sunshine
that.
Mafia, thank you for being a member 21 months. She said, I love listening to you both. And that girl, you're 100% right. Real life friends sometimes don't understand YouTube. So you will vent to your internet friends. But when you are at the point where you're venting about the victims and their families, I feel like take a step back and stop doing it. Why are you even doing this then?
Right. If it's so frustrating, if the people that are, remember this, you're there because you chose to be there, right? They're there because it was their family. You schmuck, you know?
They literally, and Kay had said something about, one of them said something about it last night, and I think you reiterated it today. Like, they can't turn this off. There's nowhere to escape from it. How did they say it?
It's their life. They can't walk away from it. I think I said something similar at the beginning. This is their life. It's with them 24/7. They don't get to be like, ugh, I'm tired of watching this show and just dip. Or I don't like this creator anymore. Unsub. They don't get to do that. It's their life. It's their family.
I knew what you meant, that girl. I just wanted to add that on while we were talking about it, because it's different. Like it's different. It's one thing if you're venting about like other creators or whatever, like who cares?
Right. Yeah, everybody talks a little shit.
Yeah, but if you're venting about why do it then? There's a million things you can talk about. I mean, and news stories even. There's a million news stories that aren't related to victims, and you know,
right.
But can you tell me what happened to the little boy? How did he get involved in this mess? Well, I don't think he's involved, but according to his mom, he's worried about his mom, and that was part of the. Can you explain it, Jane? Because I'm not going to explain.
Okay. Lauren explained in her initial live that the reason that she was so against, one of the reasons she was so against having Law and Crime be the pool feed for her second, that she left out, hearing, was that she was very concerned about it exposing personal things about her family, but more importantly, her son. And then she proceeded to read things that were declarations that talked about things that were happening with her son. That's what happened. Now,
Yeah, and his
I
extreme worry for his mom,
Right.
and
He was very, very
um,
worried about his mom and concerned constantly that her life was in imminent danger all the time, and just a lot of stress for a young kid. And I have stayed away from that topic as like giving an opinion on it because
yeah,
I think it's a parenting choice. And um
like if you let your kids know this is going on, why does
right.
he even know
And at
about this?
what age and all that. I can only tell you
Right.
that when I was doxxed all those years ago, um, my daughter was older and she was the only one that would be a minor at the house. And I did tell her, I need you to be careful of your surroundings. I stood out there with her for the bus stop and met her out there after um, school got out and stuff like that. But I didn't tell her, and that was my choice. So maybe
Well,
maybe the argument could be made that perhaps I didn't give her enough information. So I've stayed away from that because I think it is like a parenting choice. And I don't, I ain't look, the only people
for
that can
me
tell me what
personally,
kind of parent I am is my kids. I don't give a rat's fat kneecap what nobody on YouTube has to say. I don't care
no.
about your Google review of me as a parent.
But
My
on
kids
YouTube is
are
a
the
bit
only
different
ones.
than like using him for your case, and
That's
I've
true.
been careful with it too. I All I can say is that for me personally, I would never allow my child to see. I've been through a lot of things that were very tough that I had
Mhm.
to not allow them to know about to protect them. And that's just the way I would handle it. Maybe
Yeah.
she was so tore up that she couldn't keep herself from allowing him to see. And, I guess that's a personal issue.
Right.
Um,
Right. I mean, I'm with you. I keep my that's just my it was my parenting style. Even when my mom died, like I didn't really actually
yes,
break
I was
down
just
and
thinking about that
cry.
with Summer.
Yeah, until I was by myself. Like I got up like at 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I went down to the garage and I smoked like 11 billion cigarettes and had me a good ass cry alone
Oh,
in the
good.
garage.
Right.
But
Same.
that's just me. That's how I am. I don't,
Me too. I'll
I
vent
don't
to my
know.
friends and family, but I can't tell you the worries and stress that I've had that my children have never
Yeah.
even known.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah.
And some of it very serious. And even I was thinking about grieving too, because
Mhm.
today is 2 years
I know.
since, and even that, like I had the same thought like about with your mom. I tried
Yeah.
to keep it away a little bit, even though
Yeah.
it was obvious, right? But
Right. Like, I
yeah.
mean, my kids knew that I was sad, obviously, but I'm not it's not like I can't cry. I mean, I have the capability, all the things are there, but I'm very private about it. And my kids have very rarely ever seen me cry. And when I do cry, it's quite upsetting to them. And so,
Yeah,
I
scary probably, right? Because
yeah,
they don't
and
see it.
because I don't do it very much. And I felt like in that moment that it was my job as their mother to comfort them. And it was my husband's job to comfort me. And he did. He did. He knew that I
Right.
needed to be alone in that garage with my 11 billion cigarettes and coffee and get it out. And he would come and check on me but he was supportive in other ways, like making sure that other things that I would normally do around the house got done. In a quiet way, not in a like, let me come over here and hug you, because that's another thing. Like I'm not really when I'm upset like that, I
Touchy
ain't
feel
trying to
yeah, don't
don't be
touch me.
touching me. Get the hell away from me. So,
But can we just
but
clear
that's
up
me.
though?
Yeah.
Like, law and crime would have never streamed him anyways.
No,
Like,
they wouldn't.
there are restrictions, and not only that, we've seen with other civil cases, like you can ask for certain things to be sealed, for
Right.
and even explain, I don't want it to end up on YouTube, whatever. This is personal,
Right.
this is private. There's always yeah, it just wouldn't have happened
Minors are
like
just
that.
not shown. And the fact of the matter is,
No.
there are still, even though it's civil, there are still hearsay rules. So, for example, Lauren would not have been able to testify to anything that her son told her. That would have to come from her son if they chose to put him on the stand. So,
Right.
you know, and the truth of the matter is, when you put anybody in in a filing like that, they are at risk of being deposed by the other side. That is facts. That's just the way the process works.
Yep.
However,
Absolutely.
law and crime never would have, and she showed the damn order. It's right there in the order what all was going to be allowed and what all would not be allowed. So
Okay,
it
I
is what
forgot
it
to
is.
read this. So I want to say thank you, Past, because I saw it and I know I didn't read it. I meant to. Much love. Thank you for being a member 13 months. Here's to your continued growth and success. Keeping you and don't ever change for anything or anyone. Hashtag real one, hashtag family, hashtag respect. Thank you, Past. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna go so we can go
Me
so I can go
too.
support Jay. He's got a live stream going on. The mods
Will
can
you
drop
send
his
me his
channel. They
link?
did. Yes, I will.
Okay.
And
I'll
yeah.
support.
Okay, awesome. And thank you guys for
Oh,
being here. And Bendy, thank you.
I have to
Good.
tell you something after we get off of here.
Okay, so just
I'll
stay
tell
here.
everybody Nuggie lost her first tooth, y'all.
Yay. Aw.
She did. She lost her first tooth.
That's exciting. All
Mhm.
right. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. But if Kresha does move her live, that is the one case where
Yes.
this may be adjusted. I will adjust around it.
If Allie adjusts, because we'll all adjust around her, because if Allie is adjusting around Crusha, I'll adjust around Allie, and it'll probably be something like this. We'll
Yes.
probably do it just exactly the same time that we did everything today.
Yes. And
So.
sounds perfect. All right. Thank you, Bendy. And thank you guys.
Bye,
And I'll
you
see you
guys.
tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.